Welcome back to ClickFunnels Quick Start Blueprint. This is Dan Havey with CFninjaHacks. In the last couple videos, we've been going through all the elements inside of the page editor. And in this video, we are going to take a look at our countdown elements. And we're going to start off with the minute timer. And the reason why is because it is a minute timer. We can set it to a very short period of time so we can more easily go through and show you what exactly all these the functions and features in here can do. So let's set all this. We're going to set it to 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 5 seconds. That way we can show you very quickly in the preview exactly what this element can do. And then we can put in our language. Here we're just going to leave it on English. And you can redirect to a URL, and you can also show and hide elements, and there's some other actions I'll show you here in a minute. So first off, redirect to a URL. You've seen this before. It's very simple. You just put in the URL where you want them to go to once that 5 seconds is over. So somebody lands on the page, the timer is counting down. When it gets to 0, it will redirect them to that other page. Now, if we've already passed the time, well, I guess we can't pass the time in this one here because this is actually a countdown timer. So there will be some time on the clock when they get there. But I will tell you what you can also use this for is just doing a page redirect, especially if you're working as an affiliate. You want to, instead of building a bridge page or something like that, you just send them to a page, you put this minute timer on there, and you set this to 0, and you then set the redirect URL to whatever your affiliate product is. That way you can give somebody a clean-looking URL. They go to that URL, which is this page. It's already set to 0, so it automatically redirects them over to the sales page for your MLM or Amazon or wherever you're sending them to buy the product. But another thing we can do here is we can hide and show elements. So the clock runs out, and let me put this back to 5 seconds before I forget. So the clock runs out, and then we want to hide and show some elements. We saw this before with the button element. But here it says here, all show sections and rows will be hidden on page load. So you don't even have to worry about hiding them ahead of time. So let's say what we want to do is we want to, let's say we're going to hide this row. So we will hide that row element, and then we will show this section. So let's click on that. So now when the page loads, this row element with the text in it will show on the page, but this down here with the blue, that will not show on the page until 5 seconds. So let's save this element and let's click on preview. And so we have the text here, but none of the blue section. Boom, 5 seconds was up, and there you go. It popped right into place. Let's reload the page one more time. Here we are, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and this will hide, and that one will show. Okay, so now let's go back into our elements. So we already went through here how to redirect to a URL, how to use it for affiliate marketing. We did our hide show. Let's just change this back to redirect to URL. And then we come down here to revisit action. So we can auto reset the timer. So that's pretty much what we just showed right here. Was I came back to the page, I hit review, and it just or reload, and what it did is it just showed me the timer clock again. So that's your standard default. But what you can also do is you can say you want to auto expire for X days. So we'll put in here, let's say for 3 days, and the timer will show expired action on new visits for X days. So it will show expired action. So the expired action is what we have right here, and it will show that to them for X number of days. So when we save this now, and we go to the page, and then we come back to the page the second time, it should, in this case here, let's put in here, google.com. It should redirect us the second time to Google. So let's see if this works, and let's just preview the page. So here we are on the page, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It will redirect us to Google at that point. Now, let's come back into it again. Well, I'm not sure, because I'm in preview mode. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, so now I just hit rewind, our reload, or can we go back? No, there's no back button. So let's try this here. Let's preview this again. See, by previewing it, I don't think it's going to work properly. But I think by the fact that here we are on Google and there's no back button, I think it did work properly. That's obviously, it's one of these things that once you get in here, you're going to have to play around with it a little bit. But the whole idea is that somebody comes to your page, they don't take advantage of that offer. They come back the next day, they don't see the offer, they are either redirected somewhere else, or because we can set the action to hide show, you could hide the offer and maybe show them a secondary offer at a higher price because they didn't take advantage of it right away. And I think a lot of times guys will put in like 30 or 60 days down here for the expired time, just kind of the whole FOMO thing. If you don't jump on this now, you're not going to be able to get it for another 60 or 90 days. So that's an easy way to keep your sales process open, but not give them the advantage of being able to jump on that really good special offer. And then we can also come down here, and when somebody revisits the page, we can do the exact same thing. We can hide and show some elements and hide timer. So just show elements. It's not showing a hide here. Hide timer and show sections or rows. Okay. So this time here, if we were to revisit the page, it will hide the timer at the top and it will show, let's just say we'll do this headline thing again, and the section rows will be hidden as usual. And this expiry date here, that was for the other option, so that should not be showing on the page. So that's a little bit of a glitch. So let's just see if this will work in preview mode. Again, it may not. So boom, well, it kicked us out right away. So let me go back here. I've been messing around here. Let's see what I have this all set at. So we got 5 seconds, redirect URL to Google, and once you revisit, hide the timer and show. Well, I guess technically at this point I'm revisiting the page. So it is redirecting me to Google. But I was saying here on a revisit, we should show me that row. So like I said, this is going to be something that you're going to have to play around with a little bit. I think what we need to do to get it to, so it hid the timer, and it actually hid the entire section that the timer was in, and is now showing me, it is showing me the row. But something happened to that other section. This section here is no longer showing. So like I said, it's something you're going to have to play around with a little bit. We can go show hide here, and then on the redirect. So whatever, play around with it and see what you come up with. You can change your font family down here at the bottom. And then with themes, you can make this look like just about anything you want. They got plenty of different themes in here in order to make it look different. And then you can come in and you can make your size anything you, not animations. Animations exactly the same as every other one of these. Large, we can make a center, right, wherever we want, bold or normal, white or subtle. We don't want it white, obviously. Bold, center. And so that's really it for the minute countdown timer. All the rest of them are pretty much exactly the same. So let's go in and let's scroll down and let us find our countdown timer. Click on this, open it up. And let's say we want to set the countdown that we're going to the 28th. So we got a sale, and on the 28th at, let's just say 3 p.m., that's after 3 p.m., let's say 8 p.m. Pacific time, and we got English, expiration. Again, we can show hide elements, or we can send them to a URL just like the last one. And then we can say which one of these do we want to show: seconds, minutes, hours, days. Now it'll default to whatever is appropriate for the amount of time you have in there. So we're like 3 days from now, so it'll only show up to days. If we were a year or two from now, it would show all of them. You can turn them all on, but what I found is if you do, it'll still default back to the ones that it really needs. It won't show 000 in front of everything else. And, that's pretty much it for this one here. You can change your font. You can change the colors of the numbers and the label right here, or of course you can also go into themes, change it there. And we can change our size, the alignment, and the font weight. And that is it for the countdown timer. It just simply counts down to a certain time, however many days, weeks, years, months in the future. And then you can redirect to a URL, or you can show and hide elements. You got to scroll down here to show and hide. And again, the ones that you want to show will automatically be hidden on page load. So now let's go to the third of these timer elements, and that is the day timer. And this is also known as the Evergreen. And what this does is every single day at midnight your time, it starts over. So if you set this timer for, let's say here, we're going to set it for, what time is it here? 3:31. So let's say 4 p.m. Pacific time in English, redirect or show hide like usual. And then we can also, again, we're back to the very first timer here where we can reset the timer. We can auto expire for X number of days, or we can hide and show the timer. Hide and show, where is it here? Hide the timer and show sections or rows. We can do that there. We can change our font. We can do themes again. And the same thing, size, alignment, weight, and then color. But the color also would be controlled, I do believe, in here, even though it looks like all the text at the bottom is the same. So on the second element, the second timer element, we can change the text color, but on all of the rest of them, we can't change the text color. It's either black or white, based upon the theme, and the themes are all the same. So either way, let's save this one here and let us preview it, because it should be, oops, why are we not seeing, oh, I know why we're not seeing something, because we have all these other elements on the page, and that might have been what was messing us up on that second one. It was being overridden by the first one on the page. So just be careful of that, and don't be like me trying to teach something and leave all the elements on the page. So let's rewind this. Here we go. Now we got nothing showing here. So let's see what we have set. We have 4 p.m. Pacific time. It's only 3:33 p.m. Pacific time. Let's make it 6, just in case it's having a timer issue. Auto reset. Okay, so here I had hide. That's where I had hide the timer and show a section set. So that's why that messed that up. It hid the timer. So we'll come back and auto reset. So I'm leaving in all of these mistakes I'm making along here because of a couple reasons. One, I don't use these timers very much. And two, just to show you where mistakes can be made. Obviously, I've made a whole bunch of them in this video here, but I want you to see that I had one timer overriding another timer. I had the revisit down here. I had the hide timer set, and so that was messing things up. So just be careful of that. One timer on the page, or one type of timer on the page, and make very sure you know exactly what you have all of your settings as. And so now let's save this, and I'll just reload the existing page. And for some reason it keeps hiding it. What is the reason why it keeps hiding it? Redirect to URL. Let's put in a URL. Shouldn't need one. And we will click on save, and then we will preview the page instead of reloading the other one. And then it's, for some reason, it's still taking it off the page. Well, let's do this. Let's completely delete the element. So there's nothing there now. Well, let me do this. Let me save the page. Let me back out of the page. Let's go back in. And let's load in that element one more time. And choose a time, 6 p.m. Pacific time, English, redirect to URL. And auto reset on revisit. Let us save this page. and preview, and hopefully it'll work this time. There we go. All right, there was something stuck in that page in the cache or something else. And so again, I'm going to leave that in there just to show you that when you're having a problem like that, the best thing to do is delete out the element. Sometimes you may even need to delete out the row or the section or something, and then go out of the page, exit out of the page by clicking the exit arrow, and then come back in. Virtually every time that happens, it will clean up whatever problem you're having. So right now, this will time out in 2 hours and 23 minutes at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and then of course it will do whatever action we want it to do at that time. And then again, with this one, the Evergreen countdown timer, it will refresh itself at midnight your local time and start counting down all over again. Whereas the other ones, once you get to that deadline, it stops. Or I guess on the first one we put in there, after that 5 seconds, it will do something on the page or redirect or whatnot. So there are your 3 timers. Like I said, there's a lot of settings. Go in there, be careful with them, and just play around and set them up. And as always, you got any questions, just let me know.